Oh, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Brandon from Audio Addiction, bringing you another live reaction video. If you tuned in to the video for the homies in Silent Planet, then awesome. If not, that's fine too. Thank you for watching this one. This one has been a highly requested one. I know a few people have been really loving the reaction videos that I've done for Nightrider, but I just didn't have enough time to do the current singles that they've been releasing, but I wanted to check out the album. So that's what we're here to do. We're going to check out the entire album, their self-titled album. So if you have a moment to go show them some love, there's a link in the description. Just a little backstory on this band if you have never heard of them before. They are of the band formerly known as Affiance, which is a band that I love. I know I mentioned them a ton in my my reaction videos, things of that nature. But I wanted to just say how cool this band is, and that like I said, I was pretty surprised that they kind of again disappeared, and now they're back, and they're better than ever. So I'm really excited about this album. Again, it's been something I've been waiting on for quite a bit, so I'm gonna be delving into the entirety of the album. So if you have an opportunity to go show it some love, very sick. But the first song is called Ruminate. This one I don't think I listened to in terms of their album, so we're just gonna dive right into this bad boy. It's 11 tracks, and it probably will be doing at least one more EP or one more album before the night is over with. It is 11 o'clock on the East Coast, so maybe we will do one more. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, because there's a ton of albums that were released today, so shout outs to all the bands that released music today. But let's get into Ruminate and see what it's all about. Okay. All right. I love this synths, man. So sick. Ooh. Oh my God. Oh, the tones on this are wild. Oh, I love Dennis's vocals, man. Ooh, okay. I like this switch up. Ooh, that like high vocals in the back, super sick. Ooh, I knew that was coming. Let's go. All right, guys, that was Ruminate, the first song off of Nightrider's new album, their self-titled album. Again, as I mentioned at the top of the video, you can check the links in the description if you do want to pick it up. I know that they have CDs, merch, vinyl, so your boy is gonna definitely scoop up a vinyl. It's gotta go perfectly with my Affiance record, Blackout. So I don't know if they've released any of their other albums on vinyl, like the other old Affiance albums. I'll have to ask. But either way, this song was really sick. This was one that I didn't hear. The only ones I think I heard were I heard Cold War, Antithesis, Caller, and I think that's it. I don't think I listened to Nemesis. I think that's might be the only one I didn't listen to. I think for some reason that's calling to me as one of the singles, but I'm not 100% sure. But either way, I really enjoyed this song. I think what they do super well is meshing that sort of like really cool like synth pop. I wouldn't even say synth pop. I feel like they mesh synths super well within their music, and it feels like it's such an integral part of their sound that I almost feel like some of their songs wouldn't even be the same without those like synth elements. I think very similarly to the band I just talked about earlier, Silent Planet. But I really love the way that this synth plays with this, like the guitar work. Dom is an absolute riff master. I love the like really like syncopated like chug parts, and then having like it sounds like a Digitech whammy kind of like wail a little bit. So I do like that. I somehow have a really weird knack of picking that out somehow, but really enjoyed that a ton. I've always loved Dennis's vocals, but I feel like this song specifically does a really good job of keeping it pretty on tone. It doesn't feel like he's going too crazy. Definitely there's some like vocal layering going on in the back that I thought was really interesting as well too. The way that it's produced was really sick. I'm pretty sure they went to Ricky Armelino of the band Hawk. He also plays guitar for Ice Nine Kills, and then he used to be of the band formerly Hawk used to be formerly known as This or the Apocalypse. So really cool. I'm pretty sure they went with him as the producer. So Ricky is awesome, so big shout outs to him. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one a lot. I think it's very similar in sort of tonality to that of like Caller, Cold War. The songs that I feel like they release as singles, it kind of is in the same lane as that, which is awesome. But yeah, just kind of like a fun, really bouncy kind of riffy song with like some really great synth work. I think that's really going to be a strong foundational point to this group that I feel like I've notated in previous works that they've done, or previous songs that they've released, but I feel like this one specifically feels like a strong notation with just a lot more synth work. So I love that. And I think this was a great opener. Definitely gives you that sort of like 80s television kind of, or like 80s movie kind of intro, which I love. I am not an 80s baby by any stretch, but it definitely kind of gives me that like vibe to it, you know, almost like old VHS tapes kind of, you know, like that sort of vibe. If you know, you know. I'm 30, so like I'm getting there, so I get it. But yeah, they definitely evoke that sort of feeling, which I absolutely love. But we are going to move on to track 2, which is Caller. This is one of the singles. I believe this was actually the first single that they released when they announced that they were changing their band name from Affiance to Nightrider. So this is their debut track, essentially. So let's get into Caller.
I'm seeing nothing but distance. Something was there and I miss it. Lost everything in the mission.
Still such a fucking fantastic track.
Can't solve this equation. Thought it would fade, but it didn't. My words are deep and I need them. If I'm still gone, then nothing's wrong. I'll never get back to where I belong. A bright mistake could be what paves the way. If nothing changes.
Oh, this part is so sick. Yeah, all right. Oh, I forgot the like really like thumping bass lines. So sick. The tones, man. I fucking love this song. Oh, that like halftime fucking slowdown. Oh. The vocal harmonies. The switch up in the last chorus. So sick. Oh man, this song rips. I forgot how good this one was. Guys, this was track 2, Caller, from Nightrider. Again, this was the first song that I listened to. If you'd like to check the reaction video out, maybe it'll be at the end of the video. I don't know. But you can check it out. Basically, it's on the channel. It's there. If you want to watch it, but we went through the song anyway, so maybe you don't want to watch it. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But I can tell you something about the song. I love this song. Every time I listen to it, I fall more in love with this song. I think mostly because, like, Dennis's vocals have such a unique, like, texture. Like, there's something specific about his vocals that, to me, like, I don't think realistically, and this is going to sound, like, really cheesy, but, like, I don't think he really has a voice that I've heard in the genre, right? And like he's very distinctive, and like I can easily pick out a Nightrider song from probably any other song that I've heard from like a modern metalcore band, which is no diss to them, you know, I respect it, but like he has such a strong, like almost like an operatic sort of voice that just carries super well within the track, and he's got strong pipes. There's just something about his singing that I've always really enjoyed about his musicianship, but I feel like when he just belts, you feel it. Like you feel it in your chest, you just love it. So I love that fact. I love that about this song specifically, and there's just a lot of large moments where I feel like there's a lot of open guitar parts where Dennis is just able to kind of just go vocally free, and I love that. The way that the vocals are kind of stacked up to with like layering and stuff, really beautiful. There's some like kind of like counter vocals like meshing up together. I liked in the last chorus they switched it up like rhythmically, but as well as that they also switched it up vocally. There's a lot of there's the main vocal line, there's harmonies, and then there's also screaming on top of that. So I love the combination of all three of those things. It works out super well, and each one of them has a distinct kind of flavor to them that really makes that last chorus stand out much more than I think the previous choruses on the album had, or specifically Collar. So I love the interplay of that as well. I like the kind of like thumpy bass riffing. I'm pretty sure Brett is now. I think he was doing guitars in Affiance, and then he switched over to bass for this group. So now he's doing bass, but he's a fantastic. I love the way he's adding like different like rhythmic textures into this song, especially more specifically in that second verse where I feel like he's almost doing like a little bit of like thumping or like hand picking a little bit. I thought that was really sick and definitely something I didn't point out in the reaction video originally. So something that I picked up the more I kept listening to this song specifically. So really enjoyed that, and you know, Pat is really holding down the drums. Really like kind of like the more like I wouldn't say it like off time, but like the way that he kind of adds in those like triplet kicks for like the double bass. I think that's really sick. You don't really hear that too often, so I really love hearing that. In this song specifically, and just kind of like their overall writing style, I feel like they kind of blend really great metalcore music. Again, they have a large like synth layering going on, and I think that also shows a lot within this song specifically. I think they do a great job of kind of commingling those two worlds, and it would make sense that this is the single because it felt like a new chapter for them, certainly. But I also think it gave them a good opportunity to show off what they're capable of doing. So love this song. I still think this is one of my favorites, and it probably will still be one of my favorites off the album. But it's a banger. So love this song. This next one is called Eyes of Luna. I have not listened to this one, so I think we're getting into a couple where I haven't heard. Actually, I haven't heard all the way up to track 9. So we have quite a bit until I get to some ones that I'm familiar with. So let's get into Eyes of Luna, which is the next one. Also, if you hear me burp, I had far too much Taco Bell. A little bit of a personal note. Oh, that like offbeat like riff. I like it.
Tell me why you find me every time I come.
Ooh. The vocal layering, nice.
You're hiding. Are you burying the shame? If you think that you
That like higher register, sick.
to truly speak your mind, turn around.
Oh,
Hear you say,
okay.
we'll find another way. I don't wanna feel resentment again. Turn around before I walk away.
Let's go. Okay.
You're lying when you know I feel the same.
Ooh, bro.
You can only get so far 'cause you cannot run yourself.
Ooh.
You can only get so far 'cause you cannot run yourself. If you think that you could find
Oh, that was nasty.
curiosity to truly speak your mind, turn around. I wanna hear you say, turn around. We'll find another way. I don't wanna feel resentment again. Turn around before I walk away.
Oh. Yeah, all right.
If you think that you could find the generosity to truly speak your mind. And if you could just put aside your animosity, we could face what's deep inside. Turn around, I wanna hear you say, turn around, we'll find another way. I don't wanna feel resentment again. Turn around before I walk away. I wanna hear you say,
So sick.
turn around, we'll find another way. I don't wanna feel resentment again. Turn around before I walk away.
Oh, that ending, man. I've made me feel things. I love that. Guys, that was track 3 from Nightrider's self-titled album. If you like this, you can go pick it up. Links in the description. Please go support these guys. I'm definitely going to go cop a vinyl. I did not even know they released vinyl, so your boy's going to grab one. But this one was very good. I think very similarly to why I enjoyed like Collar and Ruminate, which is the first song. I think this is a really good combination of actually both of those songs sonically. I love the way that, again, continuing on with like a lot of the bouncing riffing. I feel like this song does a really great job of keeping that sort of cadence, which I like. This one, I think specifically was a lot more focused on like Dennis's kind of like lower to mid range, where I love his kind of like, I love his like lower to like mid register vocally. It's got like a lot of warmth, and the way that he kind of conveys things, it like softens out a little bit, which is really interesting because I think a lot of his higher stuff, like he really belts and you can hear it. But like once he gets in kind of that like lower like mid register, everything kind of like rolls off, and I love that. It really shows a lot of cool like vocal technique that he's showing off in this song, so I love that specifically. As well as that, I really enjoyed the guitar writing in this one. Really, again, really bouncy, really riffy. I think it kind of continues on with that sort of phrasing. I'm not entirely sure who does the screaming in this group. I know Dennis has screamed in the past with Defiant, but I'm almost positive that I think Dom is doing the screaming in Nightrider now. So, or kind of a combination of the two, because I wouldn't be surprised if both of them scream. I'm pretty positive that I think Dom's screaming in this entire album. But if somebody could let me know, either in the chat or in the comments, would love to know. But I really think this song is really sick. I love, again, the way that they've kind of interwoven all of this synth element, and as I mentioned, it being kind of more of a cornerstone to their sound. And I am not surprised at how interweaved those kind of elements are mixed into the songwriting, but I think it's more impressive how intricate those things are into the sound of Nightrider, which I really appreciate, because I think sometimes like bands use that as kind of more of an ethereal element or a way to add texture, where I feel like this is more of an integral part of their sound and what they're trying to do. So not any diss to any bands that add it as more of an ethereal element, but I think if you're consciously trying to add that in and making it be more of a staple to your sound and adding different elements in to kind of create different like melodies and structure, I love that. So for the sheer fact that they're incorporating it in more of a transparent way is really, really awesome. So love this track specifically. But I've been enjoying all 3 of these songs that we've listened to. Collar, like I said, I've been listening to a ton, but like Eyes of Luna is one that I'm excited to re-listen to this album once I've gotten through doing my once over through with this album. But yeah, this was a really fun one, and definitely one that I'm excited to delve a little bit more into as we do things off camera. But the next one is track 4, which is Survive. So I'm pretty sure I did not hear this one, so we'll jump into Survive right now.
Crash test all you want, it's not enough to keep you safe and sound from what's to come, from what's to come.
Ooh. Okay. That riff was tight. I can guarantee it's coming back. That low end is nuts. The way that Pat adds those ghost notes in, so sick. I love it. This one's shaping up to be one of my favorites. Oh, okay. So bouncy, I love it. Oh, so sick. Oh, let's go. The droning, I love it. Oh, that little chug. All right, let's go. Oh my god, this is so good. This might be my favorite one, I think, so far. I really enjoy this one a lot. So cool. All right, guys, that was track 4, Survive, from Nightrider's self-titled album. You can check it out with the links in the description if you'd like to. But I really enjoyed the fuck out of this track. This one was by far my favorite one behind Caller in terms of the songs that we've listened to thus far. At least the songs that I've listened to on a channel, excuse me. It's all that talk about now finally coming to light. But I really just was vibing with like the rhythmic nature of this track. I think Pat is like the underlying sleeper of this track. I really love his drum patterns in this song. I think there was like a lot of little progressive like proggy elements. There's a little bit of like paradiddles and like a little bit of ghost note hits that I was like, okay, he's gonna throw a little bit of that in there, which I like. And I think that meshes up very well with kind of like Dom's more like syncopated, kind of like really like chug fast riffing going on, but then also really kind of leaving things open for a lot of that sort of synth work to kind of pull through, especially more so in like the choruses and like maybe a little bit of like the pre-chorus as well. But some really great use of some really great like synth parts, reminded me a lot of an OG classic. Of course, if you're a classic rock fan, you know, but it definitely gives me a little bit of like Worlds Apart vibe from the band Journey. I know I'm referencing like a 70s band, but genuinely that's what it reminded me of, and how crucial that like synth sound remains in that song, and how much of a crucial element it is within that song, that it's I would argue the synth is in an equally crucial role within this song, Survive. So I love that specifically. There's a lot of great like breakdown moments in this track that I really appreciate as well. But I also love, again, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I absolutely love Dennis's vocals. I think this one is probably my favorite one thus far, of like, at least in terms of the new singles we've listened to or new songs. And I just love his delivery. I think there's something specifically about the way that he conveys lyricism and the way that he kind of conveys words in this way that I'm just like, holy shit, like he just knows how to deliver, and you can feel it in your chest. There's like something about it. And that was kind of like my first introduction to Defiance, was just like really jumping into it and being really enthralled with their sound, and like just having a group that really remain true to my chest. I feel like they have always kind of delivered on that. And so I love that that's something that they wanted to continue on doing with Nightrider, that I love. So really, really powerful song. But I also think like sonically it's also very strong as well too. So just like the combination of those two things really hit super well. And it has just such a memorable ability to it that I'm really going to come back to. I would argue probably a good majority of this album, just because I think it's got like a little bit of nostalgia feel to it, especially in regards to a lot of that synth work. It reminds me a lot of the like kind of like 80s rock, like even again like 70s kind of rock, classic rock sort of styling, but like modernized, if that makes sense. Like if they were like more on the metalcore, like almost like a little genty in some ways. Really interesting kind of combination of sounds, and I think they really do find a unique way of melding different influences and different stylings into specifically what Nightrider is, and so I love that. So Survive, number one right now, but it can be dethroned, so I'm not, it's gonna stay there for now, but could be changed over by the end of the night. But we are going to move it on to track 5, which is Nemesis. I don't believe I listened to this one, if I'm not mistaken, so let's give this one a spin.
I keep on seeing the shadow.
Ooh, okay. This has got the rhythm. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, this is it. Oh my god, my fucking chest.
I'll create a projection.
Woo! Let's go. Ooh. Let's go. Woo! Get a little solo action. Okay. This is so good. I am actually speechless. Oh, man. Ooh. Yeah, let's go. Oh. Kudos. Kudos, 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 kudos. Holy shit. So fucking good. Fuck. Oh man, that was awesome. Guys, that was track 5. That was Nemesis. Oh. Take me to heaven. I love that. This was a fantastic track. This was exactly what I was saying, was that I didn't think Survive was gonna, no pun intended, was gonna last very long. And who knew? It would be literally the next track. This is, I can't believe it. This is great. This was so good. Really rhythmatic. Again, keeping with this sort of like, it's weird how I feel like they blur the lines between like really rhythmatic, like genty sort of stuff, and then also like have these like really just like massively big choruses that I think absolutely crush. And then on top of that, having like some really cool like melodic layering with the synth. And the way that kind of Dennis carves his way out through this song is just really magnificent. The screaming is great on this track as well. As well too. And just overall, it was such a fun experience going through this song live, that I feel like maybe I don't think I would have fully gotten the chance to experience if I listened to the single, just off the whim. I want to say this was one of the singles, but I'm not 100% sure. But I really enjoyed the hell out of this song. Really bumpy, really riffy. But like the way that, again, the way that Dennis just kind of conveys his vocals, the way like there's just something about the way that he sings with such emotion, and like you can tell, like especially in that chorus, which is like my favorite part of the song, the way that he kind of gets up in like vocal range, and it almost seems like his vocals are gonna like almost like crack a little bit in some ways. It's just so great. I love that he has such a commitment to his vocal delivery in this song, that, man, this is like, if this isn't the top song, again, I'm probably going to eat my words by the end of this, as I mentioned before, but I Survive and Nemesis are like very close, but I would say Nemesis right now is on top. But yeah, man, this had everything that I think if I was to recommend a Nightrider track that didn't have like a feature on it, I would highly recommend this one. This is one you should be given a listen to because I think it has all of those heavy elements that you may or may not know about this band, but you will fall in love with. I think that the synths offer like a great kind of textural element to this track, but don't really feel like I feel like there's a lot more like orchestral elements. I think there's a lot more things going on than just synth. There is some synth elements in this song specifically, but I think this has like some like a little bit of strings, a little bit of synth moments. It has some really kind of like polyrhythmic drum lines. It has some like really genty kind of like riffy guitar work. The bass work is also really fucking fantastic as well. And then just the cherry on top is Dennis and his vocal presence in this song. It just really rocks. And I think that this song specifically is like their best foot forward. If their future material will sound anything like this song specifically, count me in. I'm already been on board, but count me on board again. You know, I'll do it again twice. But yeah, this song, 10 out of 10. I love this one. This one's such a banger. But we are going to move it on to track number 6, which is Rear View. We're about halfway through this album, so feeling pretty good. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident about this album. So let's get into Rear View and see what's going on. Okay. Ooh. I like the dueling vocals. Ooh. Ooh. Had like double bass work? Okay. That like call and response. So sick. That breakdown was awesome. I like that vocoded vocals, I think. Really sick. That like arpeggiated riff, synth riff. Really sick. All right, guys, that was track 6, and it is called Rear View, and is off of Nightrider's newest album. They're self-titled. You can check it out with a link in the description if you're gonna go give them some love. But this song, really enjoyed as well. I think each song, I don't really have any crazy critiques about it. I think that this song very, very similarly to some of the other songs that we've heard thus far, is going to be in the same boat. I think if you like those songs, there's a very good chance you're going to like this song specifically. And probably a good whole host of these other albums, the other songs on the album as well. But I will say the coolest thing about this song specifically that I really enjoyed was like the dueling vocals, or like the call and response sort of thing. I love that because especially in terms of like vocal tonality, Dennis is kind of doing that like low to like mid-range vocal presence in one, and then is hitting like kind of the higher, like mid to higher range vocals in the response. And just like the back and forth is just interpolated super well, and I think it really works well with the song itself too, in the way that the chorus is structured out. It dynamically keeps your interest, and I felt like I was really feeling the song specifically just because of the way that it kind of ping-ponged in your ear in that way. I'd also say I really enjoyed the drum playing from Pat. I think there's some really cool like drum patterns, more specifically in the kick drum area. I would definitely say some, especially the double pedal work. There's some really kind of like fast kicks in the middle of having some more of a standard kind of ish beat, and it kept the rhythmic nature of that song a little bit more interesting, a little bit more intense in certain parts, and I really enjoyed that a ton. Their breakdowns always sound like a brick wall. I don't know how that's possible. I feel like I'm getting crushed by a breakdown, and I've like felt that way before, but this specifically, I feel like sonically you can just like, you can feel it. It like feels thick, and I love that. But yeah, this song specifically, I love the way that they played with the dynamics of the song specifically. I think it definitely keeps your interest, and especially after having such a high with Nemesis, I think it's going to be really hard to kind of compete with a song like that specifically. So I think they did a really good job of like still keeping the song interesting, but not like trying to like dethrone like Nemesis and continuing like trying to build to like be like, I'm going to make like the next craziest song. I feel like that's kind of a little bit unrealistic, but hey, it's possible, you know. But I really kind of enjoyed this one as being a little bit more, I would say like laid back, in the sense of like it's not like as like maybe vocally demanding or as like instrumentally demanding, where I felt like Nemesis was a little bit more quicker, a little bit more fast paced, and like has more of a like, you're just going from 0 to 100 real fast, you know? So love this song for that reason specifically. And I feel like I would care to mention this because the next feature, Dana Willix from the band Kingdom of Giants, I feel like if you liked Kingdom of Giants Passengers, there's probably a damn good chance you're going to enjoy this album a lot, because I think I can find a lot of correlation in terms of the sound and like the vibe of what they're going for. And it's so cool because shout out to Dana. Dana's been on the show twice now. So I love Kingdom of Giants. They're awesome. I love seeing them all the time. So big salutes to them. But yeah, I feel like their sound is very in the same lane, or very similar lane to that of Nightrider. So if you do enjoy that band, there's, like I said, there's a very good chance you're going to enjoy this next song, which features Dana as well as being a Nightrider track. So very sick. Let's give Disaster a listen. Oh! Ooh, this just riffs. Interesting. Oh! Ooh! Oh! Yeah. That was a good feature. I hope we get a Dana clean section now. No. I thought there was going to be. More screaming though. I'll take that. It's coming. Oh, so sick. Oh, old Dana at the end. Nice. All right, sick. That was a great feature. All right, guys, that was track 7, Disaster, featuring Dana Willix from the band Kingdom of Giants. If you haven't checked out Kingdom of Giants, they're the homies. Love those guys. But this song specifically was great. Great utilization of Dana. I think, obviously, we'll love to hear him do some clean singing, but I feel like they did it. I feel like they added him in for a specific reason, and that specific reason was to scream. So, love that. I think he was utilized super well. He was in the second verse, the breakdown, and in the last part of the song. So, three different parts, which is really sick. Very good feature throughout, and I think it makes the song more interesting because I think Dana has just a very iconic sort of screaming sound. So, love to hear that. But I also loved hearing kind of the combination of him and Dennis. I think that was really sick, and just kind of hearing them play off of each other, especially in that chorus. I feel like that's really where you can kind of hear that interplay, which I really enjoy a ton. As well as that, I really enjoyed the kind of riffing. The breakdown was chef's kiss. We love a good breakdown, and I feel like they definitely nailed it on this one. A lot of great double bass pedal work, some cool drum fill from Pat. Really just a wild song, and I think that very similarly to the other ones, I think it does a really good job of representing this album. I think they did a very good job of picking out actually a lot of the singles on this album, because I think it gives you a good perspective of that their synth. The way that they add synth into their music is very much an integral part of their sound and what they're going for. And I think that this song, very similarly to a lot of the other songs on this album, is just kind of a centerpiece to what they already do already. So really enjoyed that. But otherwise, I didn't really have too much else to say about Disaster. I think it was a very well-written song. And I think it was obviously delivered out super well. And again, Dana did a fantastic feature. So shout outs to Dana from Kingdom of Giants. Really sick band. If you haven't checked them out, go give them some love. And they've been on the channel twice now, so they're kind of legit, which is really awesome. Uh, Not that I feel like I'm the most legit, hey, whatever, I'll take it, but love these guys. But the next track is track 8, and this one's Fearmonger. I feel like this is going to be a heavy one. I could be wrong based off the song title, but who knows? I could be right. Like the really like video game type synth. Okay. Ooh, that double bass hit. Okay. Ooh. Love the way that the bass kind of comes in this track. Really sick. Ooh. Ooh, I like the breakout. Okay. Oh. So sick. Bouncy as fuck. Love it. All right, guys, that was track 8, Fearmonger. Love the song. This was very sick. I love the beginning part of the song, and I love the way they ended it in a very similar fashion. That really video game type synth. It almost feels like maybe like a 16-bit or like an 18-bit kind of synth setup. Super sick. I love that. I know that they, to my knowledge, I think they are pretty big video game fans. I know Call to the Warrior, which is one of their older music videos under their previous band name, Affiance. They literally had Guitar Hero guitars, and they just seemed like a bunch of nerds in the most infectious way possible, because I am also a nerd. So, you just know. I feel like if you know, the nerds. But anyway, I digress. That's the whole nother topic for another day. But I really enjoyed this song. This one, I think, focuses a lot more on the rhythmic pattern. So I feel like Pat really takes a lot of the reins in this track, along with Brett. I would say too, there's a lot of great bass work in this album so far, but I really love when the low end, especially more of the rhythm part of the group, really get more of a spotlight. But I know a lot of the times people focus on the integrity of drumming, which I would say is definitely a key part and definitely keeps a lot of the group on time, certainly. But I would also say, as well as this, like the bass is almost always like, I feel like not a lot of people talk about bass, which I know that's like a common trope within like metal music, but I think there's just so much great low end, and I think that is only aided by the fact that there's some really great bass work going on in this entire album so far. But I also think it just backs up what the guitar is doing, but also is trying to kind of commingle with the drumming as well. And I think Brett finds a good groove in this song specifically. I always really like the guitar work as well. It matched up with like kind of like the triplet kicks of the drumming, which is really sick as well too. But also love the screaming as well. I feel like a lot of the songs that we've heard a little bit going further have been a little bit, I wouldn't say less screaming, but the screaming I feel like has been a little bit more minimal, and I feel like this one has a little bit more of a presence within the song. So I love that. I still think it's Dom that's doing the screaming, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'd love if Nightrider, if you're gonna comment later on, let me know. Would love to know who's doing the screaming in the band, or come on the show. Would love to have you. But yeah, Fearmonger was kind of a riffy kind of song, really bouncy. And I think all of the songs really have just been it has just been really fun. I think a lot of the like enjoyment that I've been getting out of listening to this album is how riffy and bouncy this album is. And like, I remember again, and this is gonna like go on a little bit of a tangent, but like the way that like Affiance was kind of set up was like really shreddy and like great. I again still listen to those albums. Still, still think that they are fantastic albums. But I think the way that they've been able to kind of like integrate little bits and pieces, but not a ton of like old stuff. Like I feel like they always will love those albums, and they'll always hold a dear place in their hearts, including my own as well. But I think the way that they've kind of evolved in terms of songwriters has been really more apparent in the way that they've stylized a lot of the synth. Like the way that the synths kind of integrate within the songs have been really interesting to hear, and like their thought process on why they do include some of these things within the song structure has been really interesting to kind of like piecemeal and try to figure out throughout this entirety of listening to this album, because I think some songs have a little bit more of a synth presence, and some of them have more of a backseat role, and it's been fun to find that like that ground where they kind of lay at, where some of the stuff is like a little bit more synth focused and some of the stuff is a little bit more reserved. And I appreciate the fact that they use their discretion to kind of see what fits well and like kind of go on it based off of, if it fits the mood, let's go for it. And if we are going to go for it, let's go like full 110%, versus like if they're like, okay, maybe we want the guitars to shine more, or maybe we want Dennis's vocals to shine more. Like, let's try to figure out where we can kind of put the synths where it would still work really well in the confines of the song, but not take away from like the overall structure or value of the tracking. So I love that, and I think they've been doing a really fantastic job of kind of migrating those two parties. So really, really sick, and I think this song is a very good indicator of that as well. So we are going to move it into track 9, which is Cold War. This features Ryan Kirby of the band Fit for a King. I did do a reaction video to this one, but I have not listened to it since the reaction, so it might be a little bit fresh to me as well. So let's get into Cold War.
Say goodbye to the ones you left behind. The lies you keep so you can sleep better off at night.
I love that guitar riff. So sick. One of my favorites.
I'm still drowning in my dreams. Strange voices calling out from a dark abyss. Encoded messages I've seen to miss. So say goodbye.
I like that straight beat in the chorus.
The lies you keep so you can sleep
Oh, I didn't even notice they harmonized. That was sick.
Strange voices calling out from a dark abyss, encoded messages I seem to miss. So say goodbye to the ones you left behind, the lies you keep so you can sleep better off at night. So say goodbye, like there's no rules real to you.
That range. Oh.
Keep so you can sleep better off at night.
Oh.
I'm done living through this dire story. I'll leave you behind. I'll leave this behind me. The lies you justified, they never made them real. There's nothing you sacrifice to make any of this reach the goal.
Ugh. I forgot how good this one was. Little Ryan screaming action too. All right, guys, that was track number 9. This one was Cold War featuring Ryan Kirby of the band Fit for a King. I love this one. I have not listened to it since I did the reaction video, and I forgot how damn good this song is. The hooks on this are incredible. I would probably put this up there with my other 2 favorites right now, which are Survive and Nemesis. Really got some fantastic hooks. I feel like this song is a shout out to the OGs, you know, the people that have been with them since Defiance, because I think Dennis hits some of that high range that, like, if you know, you know, like, if you've been a fan of theirs for quite a bit, like, I feel like him hitting those high register notes is very evocative of a past life from them. So I love the fact that this song specifically was like kind of like their homage to us. So I gotta give him a lot of kudos, because man, Dennis has got quite the range. He's got like the low range all the way up to like the super like high vocal range. So he can definitely hit some crazy runs, I'm sure. And I think this song does a really good job of interweaving those sorts of interesting melodies with some like really fun like guitar riffs. That beginning riff is just like so much fun. I love it a lot. It reminds me a lot of like kind of similarly to like what Mike Stringer does of the band Spirit Box, where he kind of has like, especially like older Spirit Box stuff, where he's got kind of like more of a like tremolo pick, like fast riff, and then have like something like a little bit more like dissonant or something like that to kind of fill in the gap, and then hit you back with like maybe like another power chord or like a bar chord or something like that. Really, really sick, and I think that they do a really great job of interweaving that in as well. Probably one of my favorite choruses off the entirety of this album. Just love the way that song just, especially in the chorus, just really soars. I think that like that major like synth key that is kind of sprinkled throughout this entirety of this song, I think is really well put together, and I think it's just like the common thread that puts this song together, or just adds another depth of layer to the track as well. I think Ryan did a really fantastic job featuring on the track. I believe he did some clean singing, and then obviously he did some screaming in the breakdown like the bridge breakdown, and then a little bit in the last chorus as well too. So I do like his contributions to it as well. I'm almost positive that he did some cleans because I'm pretty sure that Dennis and him harmonized, which was really sick. So I really do like that a ton. But yeah, this one to me is just a standout track. Instrumentally is Chef's Kiss, vocally Chef's Kiss, vocal feature from Ryan Kirby. Chef's Kiss. All of it's Chef's Kiss. I love it. So this one is definitely my favorite of the singles, and for good reason, because I think it's got some hooks. It's got hooks for days, and I love hooks. So this one's a great one. The next track is track 10, which is Antithesis, and this is the second single I think was released after Caller. So definitely haven't listened to this one in also a bit, but we are going to get into it. Maybe I'll love this one as well, too. I have no idea. I don't remember, if I'm going to be honest. I can barely remember what I had for breakfast this morning. So let's give it a listen.
It's a waste of time.
Oh, no, I don't think I listened to this one.
It's goodbye.
It sounds new.
It's a waste of life. I fear that won't subside.
Oh, okay. Oh, what a riff.
No end in sight. No reason why.
That, like, straight beat.
Race with time to feel like I'm falling faster into numbness. Worlds away from where I wanted to go back to nothing.
Ooh. Oh, that guitar riff, so sick.
Closer now, but not enough. I'm failing. Another victim bites the dust. Keep praying. My priorities are keeping me from feeling.
I like that high vocals I can hear a little bit.
Falling faster into numbness. Worlds away. To go back to nothing. Thought before we home. Gods, I walk with thought they were just statues turned to dust. To go back to nothing. Thought before we home. None of this is permanent, so why don't we get
Ooh, get a little shred. Woo! Little sweep at the end. All right.
far before we learn to go back to nothing.
I love this synth choice here. Sick reverberated drums. All right. So sick. Shout outs. All right, guys, that was track 10. This was Antithesis off of Nightrider's newest album. They're self-titled. If you like what you've been hearing so far, check the links in the description. Please go pick up the album if you can. At least buy the CD. I know a lot of people don't really buy CDs anymore, but if you like vinyl, they have vinyl, which is also really sick. So I'll be copping one as soon as we hop off. I'm very excited to pick that one up and put it next to my Affiance record. Not actually, because all my stuff is in the alphabetical order and A is not close to N, so can't do that. But anyway, I digress. I'm getting off topic. It's getting a little late for me. But I really enjoyed this one. This one was a little bit more, I'd argue, a little bit more subdued, I would say. I think vocally, this was a very strong performance from Dennis, but I think there are definitely stronger works. But definitely nothing in any way, shape, or form was he slacking in the song. I just feel like vocally it was like very much like if you've been liking Nightrider so far, you're probably gonna dig the song very similarly. I think structurally it was very fun. I really love the way that they have like more of a bouncier sort of riffier sort of part, especially with that first like guitar riff, which chef's kiss. What a fantastic riff. Love that. Shouts to Dom. But also that just the way that like the drumming switches up. You have something that's a little bit more open, a little bit more loose, and then they kind of have like maybe like a bar to like switch over into like more of a straight beat. Really wild, but I think it really works within the styling of the song and keeping it a little bit more fresh, a little bit more up and down, kind of like a roller coaster. I love the solo in this song specifically, really sick. Harkens back to old times. And if you know, you know. But really enjoyed that aspect of the song. Really fun. Again, the riffs were on point as well. And just was like overall just a pretty solid song. Like, I know I just am beating a dead horse with the song, but like honestly, if you've already enjoyed a lot of the songs already, this is probably going to be well up your wheelhouse. And I feel like I don't have to say too much else on it. It's just a really well put together song, and I enjoyed it. So we are going to get into the last song, which is track 11. This one is called Portals, and I have not listened to this one, so this is a brand new one. So let's get into this bad boy.
Wish I could say I never wanted all the things I said I never needed. And down the spiral I go farther, just to see who I wasn't meant to be. I don't wanna know another night, another night alone. I don't wanna know another long night like this. I don't wanna know another fight alone. I don't wanna know another fight with myself. Watching as I am losing the meaning of what was.
Okay, I like the building.
My reason for being. Through the portal I can see what could have been. I can feel the walls around me closing in. If I try, could I find my way back from the path I've always feared? Each time I fail, reflections disappear. Wish I could say I don't regret it.
A little softer, like
Every
it.
time I thought I did the right thing. 'Cause when I look into the mirror, I don't see the man I wanna see. I don't wanna know another night,
Oh, that bass is sounding thick. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm wrong.
watching as I am losing the meaning of what was once my reason for being. Through the portal I can see what could have been. I can feel the walls
Ooh. Okay. We're gonna get a breakdown for sure. Ooh. That little fill at the end was sick. Whew.
I disappear like the sun sets into night, and I disappear. The horizon where I ride till I fade away.
All right, guys, that was the final track, track 11 off of Nightrider's newest self-titled album. You could check the link in the description if you'd like to pick it up. Go support the boys. But I really enjoyed this one. I was very unsure of where it was going to go. I thought they were just going to end us off on like a little bit of a softer note. But delightfully surprised towards about like the middle-ish portion of the song. That's where it kind of picks up and adds in like a little bit of a genty sort of flair to it. So I do like that. This one I feel like Dennis just went off. He just went ham. He's just like, hey, let me hit you with all the coolest runs I can think of, especially the end of the song. Ooh, bro, man was singing. He was not only singing, he was singing. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But yeah, this one was like really cool, especially at the beginning. It was really soft. A lot of it had to do with just vocals and like really like nice synth. And then as the song kind of picked up, you hear the bass kind of come in from Brett. It was really sick. And you're like, okay, got a little bit of bass. And then we throw a little bit of guitar on there from Dom. And you're like, okay, now it's getting a little heavier. It's getting a little riffier. And I feel like it hits that stride point super well. So I love that. And then that kind of just had the snowball effect kind of roll, and like the song got a little bit more riffier, it got a little bit more vibier, and then towards the end of it I feel like they kind of like tapered off and hit it off closer to the end of the song really nicely and really sent it off on a nice like ending to the album. But yeah, overall I think for literally a self-titled album, for them switching up their sound entirely to still making music, which is really sick. And I think that was kind of my primary concern, was if they were going to ever release music again. I felt fortunate enough to pick up Affiance Blackout on vinyl at like one of my local record store when I was living in New Jersey. And one of my prized possessions, I still have that, still part of my ever-growing vinyl collection. And I think it just goes to show like how you can elevate and how you can change as a group and still have something that just like, like your initial impact will still make an impact for you to go and listen to this whole album. Like I had listened to Affiance and I had been a fan of Affiance for quite a many years, even before I started doing YouTube, and I saw them in a really shitty dive bar in New Jersey. Shoutouts to Champs. It's no longer a venue anymore, but I remember seeing them to like maybe 30 people, if that. And it was such a great experience. And I've kind of tried to see them beyond that point after that, but they really left a lasting impact. And I think that like every album at that point after that I had picked up, which had been really sick. And I just think that they continued to elevate. They kept on being like this dark horse in this genre, and to me, I didn't really feel like they got the justice they deserved. I think they definitely should have been more popular, but hindsight's always 2020, and I think with this new refresh and changing up their sound and doing stuff that's a little bit more heavier, a little bit more rhythmic, and it seems like this is the type of stuff that they've always wanted to write as well too. It just seems like kind of the natural correlation that they're going to do this, and this is going to be their next step. So I love that for them, and I genuinely love this record. I know I'm probably going to be listening to this a ton more, and I'm so excited to throw this on my playlist, and I'm a little concerned that it's released in November because I have my albums of the year gearing up, and it's looking stacked this year as always. But yeah, this one is definitely amongst my favorites of this year for sure, and definitely well worth the wait to get through this full length. Some of my favorite songs, I probably would say, my number one favorite is Nemesis. I think that was pretty clearly cut for most people, but I think that is like one of the best songs that I've heard on this album, and probably one of the best songs I've heard this year. So shout out to Nemesis. I probably would put Cold War at number 2. Then I would put Survive at number 4. Yeah, because it would be Nemesis. Yeah, Nemesis, Cold War, Survive, Disaster, and then I enjoyed Review, so I probably put Review as number 5. Honorable mention, I'd say Fearmonger. That was really good, but also as well Collar. I would just recommend listening to the entire album. I really obviously can't pick a favorite, but those I guess would be some songs that I really enjoyed, like slightly over the ones that were all on this album. They're all very good, and I am a serial listener, so I will listen to this album front to back, no doubt. So please, if you can, go support the guys in Nightrider. Links are in the description if you can go pick it up. As well as that, go check them out. I hope that they'll start touring. I know that they are doing like a release show in I believe it's in Ohio, but I'm not 100% sure. But I know that they are doing one release show, and they're not doing too much touring. So maybe if you buy the record, maybe they'll do some more touring. I don't know. Nightrider, I know you didn't ask for this, but I would love for you to come on the show. So please, would love to hit up the DMs. Would love to have you on the show. Would love to chat with you. Would be really sick. So hopefully you watched this and enjoyed it. If you, the watcher, viewer, if you watched this and you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that thumbs up, share it, subscribe. That would mean a lot. Your boy is doing the work this weekend. This will probably be my last one for tonight, but I'll have like 3 EPs to tackle and 2 more albums to go through. So if you like variety, you're going to get plenty of it. Dying Wish is one of those ones that I'm doing tomorrow. I'm going to possibly try to do Youth Fountain. If not, I'm going to definitely be doing the 3 EPs that I have set out for myself to do. So that would be North Road, as well as Mugshot. Those specifically, those 2, and I think there might be one more other than that I can't think of. But those would be the ones that come out. So if you like any of those bands, come hang out tomorrow. And then if I have to do a live Sunday, maybe we'll do one on Sunday as well. But thank you for watching. Love all of you. I hope to catch you in the next live video, and talk to you later. Peace.